So there's really two routes that men can take when they get heartbroken, okay? And I'm going to get into this. This is Tarik Talks, and we're going to be talking about how some men take heartbreak and use it to their advantage, how they're going to take this heartbreak and come back even 20 times stronger. And we're also going to talk about the flip side of it too, okay? So the one route to take is when a dude gets heartbroken, he's gonna go into self-destruct mode. Unfortunately, this is a route that is frequently taken by a lot of guys, and this is unfortunate, but it's the truth. When they get heartbroken, we all see and you know what? I think I have a theory, notice I said the word theory, that the media does this crap on purpose in order to even further mess up a dude's situation, right? But what do we see in these funny TV shows or even serious TV shows and movies, things of that nature? When a dude gets heartbroken, where is the first place he goes? Yep, you guessed it. He goes to the hole in the wall bar and gets a few Jack Daniels. I said James Daniels. That's how y'all know I haven't drank in a minute. I combined Jameson and Jack Daniels, right? Hell, that might be the case. He might get some James Daniels. He might get some Jack Daniels and Jameson and just take a couple of shots of those, self-destruct, and wallow in his misery and drown his miseries away, okay? Now, this is, like I said, this is where a lot of guys do, what they tend to do. They turn to things like instant gratification, and instant gratification, as we all know, is the route to self-destruction. Anything that gives you instant gratification, for the most part, is self-destructive, such as vices, gambling, sexual addiction. And yes, guys, listen, let me tell you something real quick. A lot of these alpha channels, quote unquote alpha channels, try to promote men to be promiscuous and make you think that it doesn't have any effect on you because you're a man, right? The only person it has an effect on is women. That's what we've commonly been hearing. And wrong. Anything that is overindulgent, especially when it comes to instant gratification, is going to harm you. If you don't believe it, look at STDs and unwanted pregnancies and further heartbreak. All right. Anyway, moving on past that, what do they go? Overeating, things of that nature. So this is one route, right? Now, the other route is when men go beast mode. Yes, when men go beast mode, when they get their shit broke, right? when they get their little heart broken, they go through their little phase. And hell, even sometimes, let me put it in perspective. So I'm not sounding like I'm talking down on the first group of people, because we've all been there. We all indulge. We all have instant gratifications and vices. You feel what I'm saying? But just to prove my point, it might have started off as the first group that was somewhat self-destructive with the alcoholism and all that good stuff, right? But then that same guy, he's like, you know what? This isn't a life for me. I'm not getting any better doing this. So let me start self-improvement. And this is where the beast mode comes in. That's that beast mode. Beast mode. It was a Lil Boosie song back in the day. Beast mode, when I go in beast mode, so they're going to go in beast mode and they're going to come back even harder. They're going to be even more in shape, right? And they're going to have even more of a mental wherewithal, or they're going to be more mentally sharp. They're going to be sharper than ever, because it takes fire to forge steel, right? It takes heat to forge steel. A sword is a big lump of steel in the beginning, but it needs to be forged. The same concept when it comes to young men. And as a matter of fact, a lot of you guys should actually now hear me out before you roll your eyes. A lot of guys need to get heartbroken. Yes, you need to. And this thing called life, The only way we learn is through experience. Because if you never got heartbroken, you would never have the perception. You would not have the discernment. You know, the more experiences that you have, whether it's good or bad, and even bad experiences, you should look at them as good. You should change your perspective. Like, okay, now I know. Now I know that this is, you know, I need to watch out a little more. I need to be more careful. I need to not slip up this time again, right? So it's not a mistake. It's a learning experience based on, depending on how you look at it, right? And for some guys, and this is where I'm gonna give you guys the unfortunate news. It's not really unfortunate, because if you're watching this, this is good news in itself, right? But the unfortunate news is most men don't take the beast mode route. Okay, they don't take the solid route. Most of them don't. Only a few do. Only a few do. And with everything, when it comes to life, within everything, there's only a few people that succeed, right? When you go to jobs, let's take a job, for example. There's only a few supervisors and a shit ton of employees. It's not the way around. It's, you know, there's never more chiefs than Indians, so to speak. I don't know if that's politically correct. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that was politically correct, but you guys get what I'm saying. There's always more employees than bosses, is what I'm trying to say. Same concept with this. There's always more men going the bullshit route as opposed to getting themselves in shape, as opposed to gaining more knowledge, as opposed to learning about new ways to invest in their money, new ways to invest in their mental health, right? Because even though I talk about your physical health a lot, your mental health is just as shit, in many cases, more important. Because you need to get your mind right first before you can get your physicality on point. By the way, fellas, because you are, and this is not gonna make sense when I say it, but you're out of shape in your mind first, right? You're out of shape in your mind first. Because for you, in order for you to let yourself get to that, now I'm excluding health, you know, if you have health conditions, now, no judgment, right? I'm just talking about the average person. For you to be out of shape, you need to have mentally given up first. Because a person that is mentally sharp, they're going to be like, hell nah, I'm not finna let myself get to this point. Okay, like my 600-pound life, where you see these people, they got to cut the damn door frame just so they can escort them out on a big trampoline type of stretcher. You know what I'm saying? Right? They mentally first, something went awry, right? So, and the reason why a few men reach this beast mode or solid mode, solid status, is because getting to that point is the long game. It is a long game. It's not instant. It just goes back to being instant it goes back to that instant gratification, right? It goes back to the instant gratification that I was talking about earlier. You can go that instant gratification route and destroy yourself, or you could take the road less traveled and you go the long way. Now you're gonna have to start hitting the gym constantly. You know that this is something that you're gonna have to do forever, and no 1 month diet, or hell, in a lot of cases 1 day diet, is gonna change that. Okay, you know this. You know that these guys are gonna have to. These guys know that they're gonna have to invest in their mental health. Okay, they know that they're gonna have to invest in their mental health, because the person that they were with, you know, the chick, whatever she did, is messed up their mental health. It really put a dent in their mental health. And see, that's the thing about a lot of these heartbreaks. The chick that chicks do to these guys that are unsuspecting, that are ignorant, that are kind of green, it really messes them up mentally. It really puts a mental blockage, and it puts a mental obstacle for a lot of these guys. You know, because a guy, he could be naive, he could be very trusting, and a chick that he's with does some effed up stuff, or she leaves him. You know, she leaves him and he's like, dang, I love this girl. And him being naive, he was, you know, and super in love, which there's nothing wrong with that, right? But there's different degrees to it. There's being naively in love, and there's being in love, but you're smart, you're wise. You bettered yourself so you could be prepared for whatever comes, right? But these guys that are naive, they get heartbroken. And, you know, fortunately, now I'm talking about the guys who went in beast mode. Fortunately, they're wisened up. They took accountability. You know, they took accountability, which a lot of people don't do. A lot of people do not take accountability, and a lot of people do not, they don't admit that they made a mistake. You know, they don't admit that they had something to do with this too. Because if you're a solid guy, right? If you're a solid guy, you're going to be heartbroken a little bit. But at the same time, that accountability, it kind of brings you back home. Like, okay, cool. I slipped. This happened. She screwed me over. Now, what's the next step? Now, what do I do? Because obviously I was lacking in this department, and this is why this happened. And a lot of guys, I be seeing it even on my comment section, they get to blaming the female like full blast. I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, I know they have their faults, but hold on. How about you? You know, how about you? How about you? You feel me? You didn't have the sharpness, right? You weren't mentally sharp, meaning you were kind of naive, okay? And this happens to the best of us, but still, you were kind of naive, and, you know, you were kind of out of shape. You were really dependent on this chick. You were really needy, and you really based your whole life around this relationship, which, contrary to popular belief, you should never base your whole life on a relationship. Now, when you build a family and stuff, is there going to be varying degrees? Of course there is. Of course. But realize that you have to get yourself straight first. And, you know, a lot of these guys that were naive, or some of them, I should say, they realize that. But at first, what they have to do is they have to damn near go in isolation mode, right? They have to damn near go in isolation mode, meaning they have to kind of isolate themselves and really just spend time with themselves. Like, okay, what did I do wrong? What do I need to improve? How can I do this a little better, right? And they sit and they think with themselves. They need that isolation. You know, and most people are so, whether it be male or female, most people are so reliant on other people's company, right? So if they don't have any friends, or if they're not doing anything on a Saturday night, they're going to feel like losers and self-conscious. So once again, this journey is not for a person that's trying to win popularity contest or have a lot of friends like that. Now, am I saying be a hermit? Hell nah. But you're going to have to skip a lot of Saturdays. You're going to have to skip a lot of weekends. You're going to have to kind of get your mind right. You know, start journaling. Start investing time in yourself. Start drinking more water. Simple shit. Start incorporating a little more veggies. Start incorporating, hell, simple walks in the park. Take simple walks in the park and get your mind right. Start thinking positively. You know, these are all steps to get into beast mode. And these guys, you know, they start capitalizing on life. They start doing great in life. So anyway, I hope this video helped, man. If you're heartbroken, it's going to be all right. Peace.